Dude, today go to close, and I'm like, all right, cool. Yesterday it was clear to close on my end.
Yeah.
So like all the loan stuff was done, and then today title company looks into his history. Excuse me, sir, are you pending a divorce? What? Like a guy's getting a divorce? Wait, what? Look at the deck I built, the new Dragon Ball Z deck.
Ooh, Jiren. Sick. Who's.
It's so you have one card that you start with, like your leader, like your fighter,
Oh, okay.
and then they flip. So this is explosive powered Jiren.
Dude.
Like when he like explodes and he's all
Yeah, yeah.
jacked up. So the deck is built all off Universe 11. Like
Ah.
so all the fighters in it are like
Oh, yeah, yeah. Dispo or whatever his name was.
yeah. Oh dude, one
Ooh,
of
I
my
like that
favorite
shirt, Rue.
ones. Oh, what's up, Rue? That
God.
is a tight shirt.
Thank you, thank you, thank
Oh,
you.
look at this, Tank.
Oh, the Justice guy. Topo. That's his name.
Yeah. Topo is so cool.
Yeah, that's dope.
Ally of Justice, Topo.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, dude, some of the card art on this game is
Yeah.
so nice.
Sick.
So clean.
Oh, wow. I can't even lie. I'm a little sleepy.
Oh, dude. I was just telling these guys what a shit day I've had.
Yeah, that was a fun story.
Oh, no, you missed it.
I saw
Well,
Half of it was in the chat, so.
Yeah, half of it was in the chat, but I helped him get his. Nuru, do you have an EAD card?
No, what's that?
It's like a temporary citizenship.
Wait, the guy doesn't have a full citizenship?
I had to help him get full citizenship.
He doesn't have a green card?
He does now.
Who?
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, this guy, he wanted to buy a house. When we looked into his backstory, like we looked in to try and find his divorce decree. That's how we found the battery charge against his wife.
Oh shit!
His restraining order. He also got picked up for intent to distribute.
Where is this guy supposedly from?
Oh Jesus!
He's from Pakistan.
Ah,
Oh god!
jeez Louise.
Yep.
Intent to distribute. That's that's fun.
I'm like, dude.
So just so we're clear, you helped a drug dealer get a house.
a wife beating drug dealer.
A wife beating drug dealer.
Now, when I found all that, because he was feeding me lies from day one. So like when I met him, he was like, dude, my wife's cheating on me. She left me. She tried to steal my kid. And I was like, dude, I'll help you, man. I'll help you get this house.
Yeah,
now the truth has come out, and I was like, no, I want you to get this house. Because then in the state of Florida, your wife gets 50% and you're getting a divorce, you're going to end up with the house. Like, you're a piece of junk. Like, I want your wife to take this house from me.
I was about to say, I get paid and then you have to give the house to your wife.
Exactly. Like, everyone wins, right?
He went up against the master sales strategist, had no idea what he doesn't know he got played yet.
Yeah, he's like, oh man. So we're
anonymous tip to the wife: your husband just bought a house.
Yeah, right.
You all right?
Yeah, dude. I'm just getting over whatever I had last week.
Yeah,
Tank heard me.
Oh, that's true. I forgot.
Yeah, dude, you were pretty gnarly at class.
Yeah, I'm just barely getting over it.
Brandon, you good? You look like you've been on one of those date websites for too long.
That's the problem.
That's what I thought.
Brandon likes bad bitches. That's his fucking problem.
Okay, before we even say anything else, who hasn't seen Game of Thrones?
I haven't, but I don't care.
I left to come to Florida Monday morning at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And my wife won't let me watch it without her.
Sucks for you.
Yeah, I know.
So basically, you're saying I can't talk about anything Game of Thrones.
I'll just take my headphones out.
Dude, there's not gonna be enough time for anything else, anyways, dude.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? You're gonna ask me what I did all week? As far as I'm
concerned, this episode, there's only one thing you did this week.
This week was encapsulated by my Endgame double replay and my double viewing of Game of Thrones last. So
I wish I had gone and saw Endgame again. I want to go see it again.
Yeah, me too. Tank.
No, that movie deserves
do a bro date.
again.
Bro date
dude,
again.
As long as you meet me halfway, because you live out in the effing boonies.
Well, where did we meet last time? That wasn't bad.
That was the AMC Georgia Mall.
No. We went. Me and Tank went to go see Dragon Ball Z at Cumberland.
Cumberland. Oh yeah. Yeah, we didn't do that.
You guys didn't invite me. That's yeah.
You don't watch Dragon Ball Z?
Oh yeah, right. I didn't hear.
Yeah, there is that.
My bad.
All right. What time is it, dude?
Just for the record,
1 minute.
Do not invite me. Oh, by the way, did you guys fix the thing where those are episodes where you play the music and you can't, if you play it back on audio, you can't really hear the intro?
Huh?
There's like 4 episodes back. I think 3 episodes back. Well, too late to solve it now.
I didn't know about it.
Well, he also didn't know we didn't save our videos on. Because I went to go watch.
I know when you said that, I was like, I don't do Twitch.
They're on YouTube, right? So, and I just assumed they would be on Twitch. So it'll keep them for it'll keep them for 2 weeks.
Yeah. How's my audio, by the way? Is it good?
Yeah, you guys are.
Dude. So I listened to the show, last week's show.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can go into, we got 20 seconds, and then we are flipping to the intro video.
I watched last week's episode. Naru, it sounded like you were in a cavern. Like,
really?
Yeah, it was like, if you listen back to it, it's like echoes.
Really?
Yeah, you sounded kind of like Morgan Freeman.
That's blame it on the editor then.
Well, our sound engineer didn't tell me, so I had no idea.
Yeah, I'll take the blame on that one. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
We know each other. He's a friend from work.
Hell yes, I get to ride the dragon.
The hell's wrong with you people?
I know Kung Fu.
Tank, you want to switch? No, I'm good. I got it.
Stay down.
I could do this all day.
if you had to transform into one mythical creature and then get married to a different mythical creature.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Maximum effort. How about a magic trick?
HR.
Not an animal.
HR. Is HR?
Somebody call HR down here.
That man is playing Galaga.
Welcome to the Nerds from Work, your weekly escape into the world of Endgame, Endgame, and Endgame.
That's it.
That's all. That's the
it.
show, guys. That's all we have time for.
Tell where they can find you and all that.
All right, yeah, guys. See you later. So, you guys are listening to the Nerds from Work, and this week we are going to do a deep dive into Avengers Endgame. If you guys like the show, be sure to follow us on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, anywhere you can find your podcasts. Find them there. Find us on Twitch, going live every Tuesday at roughly 9 o'clock at twitch.tv/TheNerdsFromWork. Also, you can keep us going to see Endgame because, Naru, how many times did you see Endgame?
Twice.
And I only got to see it one time. So if you want me to go see it one more time, or Tank, or Brandon to see it half a time, support us on Patreon. I mean, it's cheaper than the beer you're drinking or not drinking. So find us there at patreon.com/nerdsfromwork. But besides all of that, let's get into Endgame. We're not even going to go into what we did last week. Let's go to how many times we saw Endgame and do we want to see it again? Hey.
I saw it once. I saw it Friday night at 6:30, and on the drive home, I told my family.
See, let me change this. What time you saw it, like what day and time, and how crowded was the theater?
Oh, okay. So
yeah, let's start there.
Yeah. So Friday 6:30. Kurt, what's up? If I didn't say it, I don't know if my chat went through. Sorry. Friday 6:30. The theater was completely sold out. It's completely packed. IMAX viewing, and it was fucking incredible. On the way home, like before we even got out of the parking lot, I told my family, I was like, I need to see this again. I want to see this again so bad, because in my movie theater, I don't know about how it was for you guys, people were crying, people were like screaming and hooting and hollering.
Don't go into that. Don't go into that.
All right.
Brandon, how many times did you see it, and what time did you see it? What was it like?
One whole time.
One whole time. Nice.
Whoa.
More than usual.
I'm about to say, Brandon's moving up in the world.
Yeah, man.
I've actually seen what we're talking about, so that's a first. I saw it Saturday. I don't know when I saw it. I saw it at like 3 or 4 or something.
3 or 4?
It was pretty packed. But like, also I didn't buy tickets ahead of time or anything.
Okay, so I'll go because I know Naru has the most. I went and saw it Sunday after church, right? Before church, I passed the theater at so I go to church at 9:45. So at 9 o'clock, I pass the theater about 9:15. Parking lot is full at 9:15 on Sunday morning.
Yep.
For Avengers Endgame.
Yep.
And so I went at the 11:30 showing on Sunday, and it was packed. Naru, how many times and were both theaters packed?
First of all, everything was packed. The parking lot was packed. I saw it, first of all, Thursday night, 6 p.m.
Damn.
And the parking lot was packed. I finally packed. Yeah, whatever. I got to live up to the name, man. So I finally parked. I went in. Even I got AMC A-list. So even the A-list, you know, because there's a special section where if you want to buy food and everything, you know,
right.
A-list. Yep. So they move you to the side. That was packed all the way out, and the line went around round one of the other theaters. I'm like, oh crap. Okay, so if it goes all the way back, what the hell? So that was packed. Then the theater itself was so packed that the second you finally, because you usually get in and it's like, you know, there's empty. No, it was packed. I sat down, and you just knew, like, if you got up and said, "Excuse me, I want to go take a piss" or anything, they'd probably boo you because the place was packed solid. And then I went on Saturday night with Saturday afternoon, 4 p.m. And it was just as packed. I mean, it's crazy the number of people that were there when you think about it. Honestly, the only place that wasn't fully packed, I guess, was the 3D theater, and even that was like it had it had this massive nucleus of people in the middle. Just the periphery was kind of open. You could get seats there if you wanted.
So, I don't know if I would want to see Avengers Endgame in 3D. Like that would be kind of weird. All right, so let's do this. Let's go on a scale of 1 to 5. What's up, dude?
No, go ahead. Make sure we do it. Make sure we do a good, loud spoiler warning before we get to that.
Yeah. So that's what I want. I want to get to this before, so that way people that haven't seen the movie, shame on you. I don't know why you're listening to the Nerds from Work. But let's give it a 1 out of 5.
Okay.
No spoilers. 1 out of 5. Do you recommend this movie? Is it worth the hype? Should you go see it? And then we'll get into our spoiler after that. Okay. So. Tank, go ahead.
Oh, 5, easy, without even thinking about it. And
quick.
Now going back, I've seen some plot holes here, this, that, and the other. One guy put it, and without I didn't watch his full review, but the one guy put it is, I've never enjoyed a movie so much with so many plot holes, and there are some few things here and there, but it is just, I think this movie was. The best superhero movie of all time. Come on, Kurt.
We said no spoilers. We duck out of this.
Jesus, Kurt. But yeah, man. I think it's the best superhero movie to date. I think it's one of the best movies ever made. I just think what it did.
Okay, let's change that a little bit. My wife asked me after. She said, Jason, do you think this will go down as a classic movie? So let's end our 1 through 5. Do we think this will go down as a classic movie? Because you brought up a good point. You thought it was one of the best movies ever made. But do you think it'll be a classic?
So the one thing that it might have going against it is people who haven't seen all 21 other movies are not going to feel the same way about it.
True.
So,
all right, Brandon, go.
Yeah, I'm in that realm. For me, I loved it, but it'll go. I mean, it's definitely going to be in the history books of a classic movie because it shattered every record of
1.3 billion.
Even if it was a shit movie, how many records it shattered, it's going down in the history books of the best. But yeah, I'm kind of it's a great movie if you see all the other movies, but
the story will be a classic.
Yeah, Star Wars Episode 6 isn't a classic movie, but Star Wars is a classic.
Okay.
That makes sense. If you didn't see any of the Star Wars movies and you just watched Episode 6, you wouldn't know what the hell is going on. You'd think it's shit. Okay. But if you kept up with Star Wars and liked Star Wars, that as a whole is a classic. So I think this whole Marvel up to Endgame and most likely after Endgame, to be honest, they're probably not going downhill anytime soon. Is going to be a classic of how to make movies and how to make movie plots last for X amount of years.
Okay.
I think this movie is a great movie though.
So 5.
Rating the movie on itself on a scale of 1 to 5, you're probably going to give it a 2, maybe a 3. Now, the reason for that is because as a movie on its own, there's a whole lot of stuff that's payoff that has no basis, no foundation. And you go into the movie and watch it, honest to God, you're going to be like, what the hell is this all about?
No. But
I'm with that. Wait, hold up. Wait, whoa. Now, having said that, Endgame doesn't give a shit about anybody who thinks that they can come see this movie without having seen the other 22 movies. If you haven't seen the other 21 movies before seeing this, that's your problem. That's a you problem, okay? This movie was made for the people who invested time and effort in watching every single thing that came before. So fan service is justified. The payoffs in this movie are amazing. There's things that are in there that you got to go back and double check and triple check. And I'm part of chat groups right now. There's a WhatsApp group I've gotten out with some 15,000 messages going through it. People discussing the science, the logic, the plot, the motivations, the drive. and all the payoffs that happened from the beginning, from Iron Man all the way to this movie. So on that scale, this movie rates a 5 and then some.
So I will say, do you have to see all 21 movies prior? No, because my wife hasn't. The only Marvel movies my wife has seen: Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Ant-Man, and there's another one, I think.
She hasn't seen any other Avengers movie? Really?
She just doesn't.
But saw Infinity War. Did you say Infinity War? I missed it.
Yeah, we went to Infinity War.
That's right. Okay.
Together. And she was like, well...
Kelsey, we got to fix that.
No. After this, she told me we're going to buy every single one.
There you go.
And she wants to catch up.
Hell yeah.
So I don't think you have to watch all 21 movies.
No.
But you definitely, like Kurt was saying, you definitely have to see Infinity War. Because my wife, we went to Infinity War together. She cried during Infinity War. And when she found out, because we knew for a long time, but the general public, right, when she saw the first Endgame trailer, she was like, Jason, we're going that weekend to go see Endgame. I need to know what happened to these characters. So she had an emotional attachment already. So if you have any attachment to Marvel characters, Endgame, you've already seen it once or twice. So I don't know why you're listening to our thing unless you're waiting for the second half, because I also give it a 5 out of 5. So you definitely have to see it if you're invested. If you're not invested, it's still a good movie as far as like
nothing.
I don't know. Yeah, I almost feel like Infinity War beats it because
Infinity War is a better movie.
If you've never seen any of the movies, Infinity War, you can actually halfway understand what the fuck is going on. It leaves with like a huge cliffhanger.
Okay.
Yeah, Endgame is the end of Infinity War.
Infinity War builds a better story than Endgame. Endgame
way more
for us, and we've been waiting how many years for an end to this? Since what, 2008?
Iron Man 12. No. Avengers was 12.
Introduced, 2012. We've waited since 2012, 7 years for this.
Yup.
Because Iron Man was great, but Iron Man led to Avengers.
Yeah.
Avengers led to Endgame. So we've waited 7 years. So, all right, guys. 5 out of 5 all around, but only if you've seen the other ones.
Yes.
Tank, do you want to do the spoiler alert?
Spoiler alert, and then I want to go first because I've been saying something since Infinity War that I need to get off my chest. So, spoiler alert, if you have not seen Endgame, turn us off, go watch Endgame and come right back. It'll only take you 3 hours, we'll still be here. Just go do it right now, it'll be fine. Spoiler alert, last warning, if you haven't seen it, stop listening to this show because we're about to spoil the shit out of this movie. So, so I had to get this off my chest. I have been criticizing Infinity War for leaving Thor, Cap, and Iron Man alive after the first movie and killing off Black Panther, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, all the ones we knew were coming back. Holy shit, did this movie pay it off?
Wait, no. Let's start from the beginning, because
I just look. We can go scene by scene if you want.
You're all fucked up. No, I don't say scene by scene, but let's just start with, like, okay. So I was not on the show last week, so I listened to our show after I watched Endgame, and all of you got it fucking wrong.
Oh yeah,
I was
not only us. Oh, Brandon got it right.
Go ahead, Brandon. Okay. So that's the one.
Brandon got what right?
The wiener explosion.
Yeah.
What?
Ant-Man and the wiener explosion.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That's exactly how it happened.
I was right. I said Captain Marvel would come back and have a huge role. She wouldn't be the one that deals the final blow, but without her, they wouldn't win.
Right.
She took down all the spaceships.
She did. That is true.
Let's start. Let's start this by saying Endgame is a movie made for the fans.
It is a movie. You're correct.
And the thing that you kind of just touched on that Marvel has always been one of the best at, and to another level with this movie, every single scene, frame and picture we saw from the trailers, TV spots, everything was the first 20 minutes of the movie.
Except for the Thanos reveal.
Not the spot that came out after Endgame came out. I'm talking about everything before opening night.
Yeah.
But but you didn't know that was going to be the end of the movie.
I'm just saying, almost everything came from the first 10 minutes.
But you have zero idea when they chopped dude's head off. I was like, well, what the? We still have 3 fucking hours left. What do you mean? What?
No. They didn't just chop his head off.
Well,
They cut his arm
first,
then his head.
They took what everybody said of like, just cut his fucking arm off.
Right.
Exactly.
Cut his arm off.
But then Thor's 2 cents when they go, what? Like, what was all that about? And Thor goes, what? I went for the head.
Went for the
and
head.
He walked out. That is fan service.
Bruh.
That is fan service. And then you turn that into a actual movie.
There's still 2 hours and 59 minutes left in the movie. What the fuck are we supposed to do?
I seriously, when that happened, I sat there and went, was that it? Is that it? Like, are they about to show the credits? Like, did they just gotcha like everyone on
what
Earth?
What the hell?
Listen, let me tell you right now, that sequence, I was sitting there mentally. I had my notes, like I had my papers, my sheets. Okay, so this is gonna happen. This is probably gonna happen. This is gonna try. It's not gonna. And then they just show up, and it's like Captain Marvel flies up and says, "There's no army, no safeguards, no defenses, nothing, just him." And they fly down and they take him out. Boom, boom, boom. Chop his arm off. Chop his head off. The second his head goes flying, I'm like, this is me. Just imagine this picture mentally. I'm like,
papers, just
throw my sheets away. I'm like, you know what's good?
What the fuck?
All right, let's go. Yeah. At that point, it's like, let's go.
Dude, it blew my mind, right? Like, I was just like, what is this? Like, one, Disney just showed old homeboy's head on the floor.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that was one of the more wild things for me. As soon as that happened, I looked at Alex and I was like, "This is a Disney movie." Like, his shit like rolled.
This is Marvel, bitch.
We're like, yeah. Since they like picked up Deadpool, now they have to start doing gross shit. So that way,
yeah, balances out.
Yeah, I was like, "There's no way like 3 or 4 years ago that would have happened." No way.
I mean, they must have fought to get that in there, but at the end of the day, it was definitely justified because what will really be a trip for me is if you find out later on that whole stuff that we call fan service probably, because don't forget, these guys sit around and argue all the plot points before they make the movie, right? So it's possible they thought, you know what, I'm going to take your argument, I'm going to make it in the, just make it in the second part of the movie. This is how we're going to do it, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, they're fans too. A lot of those guys making the movie are fans too. They argued the same stuff we would argue. So that would really be cool to me to find out that, you know what, McFeely and all the other guys involved in writing and creating this stuff actually did all that even before the fans saw the movie. So even though it was fan service, I mean, they probably were like, ha ha, yeah, baby.
And can we back up 5 minutes in the movie? My wife almost reached over and punched me because it comes up, right? It starts with Hawkeye and his family. In 15 seconds, I was like, oh, they're about to get dusted. And I said it a little too loud. And the wife about reached over and punched me because, like, I think she realized it at the same time I realized it, except I said it out loud. And, oh, dude, it was, woo! It was, yeah.
I saw it come in. Okay. The second time I saw it, there was a guy next to me. By the way, I'll tell you this much. People are talking about the future of the Marvel movies and all that. So I'm like, listen, there was a guy next to me in his 50s. He was sitting with his daughter who was, in her teens. And he's sitting there from time to time, wiping a tear from his eye, like that. And she's on the other end, straight up bawling. Like, ooh, you could hear her bawling. Now, my point is, I'm like, this is my future. I just realized this is my future right there.
You're already 50. So anyway, let's do this.
I don't have a teen daughter.
So you'll be 60 with the teen daughter.
Oh, shut up.
So how many of you, because I know in my theater, there was a lot of crying.
Oh, I cried.
Is that the same with everyone?
I cried.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Even if nobody cried, I brought the tears.
Put your hand up if you teared up a little bit.
Oh, no doubt.
Oh, dude, I had the tear halfway down my face before I managed to pull it back in because I was like, no, I can't let it. I can't. No.
At what part, Tank, did you tear up? Because I think I teared up at a different part than everyone.
Probably. So mine was I'll buy you all the cheeseburgers you want. Ever since I had kids,
at the end?
ever since I had kids fucking wreck me, dude. I am so weak.
When Tony leans over and says, "I love you 3000."
That was my point. That was my point.
Like
when he said that, I was like, "Come on, bro, get fuck out."
Only
that and the Spider-Man scene.
Yeah, Spider-Man. I actually like. You know what? I actually like Pepper Potts' scene there. Like how strong she was until he finally, and then she
was more effective than Iron Man in that fight.
Yeah.
All right,
dude.
Where did you tear up?
Where did I tear up?
Yeah.
How many fingers you got? Let's see. I teared up at the point where Scarlett Johansson stands behind. You know, it's like where he turns around, where Ronan turns around and says, "Don't," and she says, "Don't what?" I said, "Don't give me hope." That just that just straight broke me like a fraction. Like that just broke.
We all have different scenes. Mine, and it's the weirdest one. I didn't like it pulled on my heartstrings, the kid parts, you know, because I have little girls.
Right.
But the one that really made me tear up, and I was like fighting it, like, right? No, when Thanos and his army are over here, and Captain America just got the shit kicked out of him, and he is alone.
Mm-hmm.
And he stands up, he's beat to shit, his shield is cut in half.
Yeah.
And he looks down at his arm, and it's broken. His bone is showing, his arm is busted.
What is that?
And he cinches his shield down on his arm and stands up straight. And I was like, this is where you die, my man. This is it.
I actually thought that too.
These tears
I'm
are
not
for you.
gonna lie. Every,
this is where we go.
Hit that he had on main characters in that fight. Alex and I are both like, he did. He's gone. He's dead. Like when he fucking throat punches his ass, we're like, he's dead.
Well, to me, that was like Captain America. Out of all of those that were fighting, was the most human. You know, he doesn't have any like armor or anything like that, so he's taking those full on. But he stood up.
I would debate that, but go ahead.
Well, he has super soldier serum. We know that.
Oh, dude, Tony got punched in the face with his mask off, dude.
Whosoever be worthy and shall possess the power.
No. We'll get into the most OP character ever invented in a minute. Hold on.
Okay.
because when
he
that
took that headbutt like a G, dude.
When that happened, I stood up and I was just like, "Fuck Iron Man." Fuck Iron Man. That moment with Captain America, that was like good versus evil, even though he knew he was gonna die. And then like all the portals start opening, and you're like, yes, like the
dude,
one out of 4.
When I heard on your left, when I heard Cap on your left,
such a good callback, dude.
I think that's when maybe I was fighting a tear in the other eye.
Right.
Cap, can you hear me? Cap, can you hear me?
Cause see, dude, like, cause I was just getting like hit the whole movie, right? It's like Hawkeye's family, and then Stark, and then boom, 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 and then the cheeseburger scene. That's why I was like, it finally just broke me, dude. I was like, I've got it. Like tears, I'm holding them in my eyes, but they're not falling. And then the cheeseburger, I was like, oh no!
It got to the point. I'm not lying. It got to the point. I had tears running down. I just stopped wiping. Like, you know what? Just
I'll get it. I'll get it when the movie's over.
I mean, Groot. The scene where they were raining fire down, and then Rocket just jumps on Groot. Like he's trying to protect Groot with his own body.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my god.
When Groot came back, I was like, when you see Groot, like I was like, yes. And I don't know why I hated Teen Groot. It was like funny, but then you see Teen Groot like lean out, and you're like, yes.
My wife to this day cannot stand Baby Groot.
That's funny.
I know, it's the weirdest thing. I'm like, how can you not stand that? It's adorable. She says it's creepy. I'm like, okay, to each his own.
So we get back towards the beginning, 5 years later, right? And
that was an interesting.
Groups, that was interesting. That was super sad.
Yeah.
Like
no one
I was slightly surprised when they killed him, but I was like, I understand what's going on. Like I understood this, what was about to happen. I was like, oh, okay, they're gonna kill him. They got to go back in time to all this. And then like it was like 5 years later. I was like, what the? It took you 5 years. That threw me. I was like, wait, for real? Like, when that came up, I was like, they're really just about to live this shit out. They ain't fixing it. It's real.
This is the new world.
It's a prequel, I guess.
Who else got choked up at the scene where Tony Stark comes back and he gets in that argument with Cap?
I didn't get choked up.
I was like, oh damn.
That was real.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was legit real. Like, forget all the, oh my God, we lost everybody. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. Nah, no, dude, no.
That was
no.
Can we also bring up how
we were gonna need this?
Hold up. What's up, B?
Can we also bring up how much of a method actor, like, this movie, actually, I give hella props to Robert Downey Jr. compared to all the other movies.
Oh, yeah.
He fucking went anorexic for one scene, bro.
Did he actually lose all that weight?
Dude, that was not CGI.
That scene. It had to be CGI because he was fucking disgusting, dude.
Yeah.
But, like, how it was moving and stuff, and take it for granted, they took a lot of money for CGI for that movie.
Right.
But, like, it didn't look like CGI.
It looked good.
If it is CGI, that's an amazing job.
His acting and his face, you thought, like, this guy is gonna die. Like,
dude,
it wasn't like me sitting there like, oh man, I'm so.
When I saw that he had a daughter and was like living life, I was like, he's dying.
You could almost smell the stank breath from Stark when he was talking to Cap, like, right in his face. I'm like, I could imagine the stench coming from this guy. Like, like, I've been through the ringer. I try to get you to help me out. No, you know what? Here, take my device. Do your thing. If you see that dude, though, run. And then he just passed out.
Can we bring up the first loophole that every Disney movie ever does? Why is the ship that ran out of fuel sitting still in space? There's no friction in space. You just go, you run out of fuel, you keep floating.
No. Another loophole, same scene. So Captain Marvel gets a page from Nick Fury, who fades, has no idea where Tony Stark is. How did she know to find him there?
Oh, no, that's pretty obvious.
How is that obvious?
If you watch Captain Marvel, the end credit scene of Captain Marvel shows her arriving and meeting up with everybody who survived on Earth, right? That's Rocket's ship, okay?
Oh, okay.
Rocket's going to tell her, go look for this. This is where, this is the only thing I can tell you. These are the coordinates for my ship. So that's how she found them specifically, yeah.
Yeah, also physics, Tank, like, it's not just Disney movies. Also, like, fire doesn't exist in space. There's no oxygen.
Well, there is that too.
So every movie that there's an explosion doesn't exist.
What explosion was there in space? She was like,
how about we take it back?
No, I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about
no fire.
Oh, okay.
So every movie ever. Biggest disappointment of my life when I threw a real grenade and there was no fire. Largest disappointment of my life. And no 8th birthday. Thanks, Dad. So anyway,
you threw a grenade on your 8th birthday.
Yeah. So anyway, it's my life. I live it how I want. We go from all of this happening. Everybody's given up. I thought it was really interesting that Cap was leading the support group, but then I thought about it.
Yeah.
He wasn't angry that he lost, half the planet or whatever. He was leading the support group because he had been dealing with it forever.
Yeah, ever since he went to ice.
Yeah, because when he came out of ice,
everybody he knew multiple times.
Right.
Yeah, right. So who better to lead that support group than Captain America?
Plus, that's what Sam used to do, right? Like Sam got him into this. His buddy Sam used to lead support groups at DA. So that was.
That's right. That's right.
I also saw that as kind of let's try that stuff Sam used to do. It said it helped. And
paying tribute to him and everything. That's true. I know about that.
So we've spoiled a lot of the movie. Tank, okay, so we said where we teared up. Where did you laugh the most?
Oh, Jesus. Dude, there's so many.
I will go first so everyone can think, because I've been thinking about this. That is America's ass. I think it looks good. That's America's ass.
That's American. Dude,
when Ant-Man is like on Iron Man's shoulder. Oh, God, that's so funny. And then Captain America later knocks out Captain America, and he's like, the that is America's ass.
Yeah, right. I like 10 seconds before that where he's like, I can do this all. Yeah, I know. I'm getting. It's like
all the little cheesy things.
Yeah.
Like I love the fan service in this movie. It was so good.
I'll say this. My first chuckle, because this wasn't really a laugh out loud movie for me. It was more of a yeah kind of movie, but the laugh out loud part for me came later. My first chuckle was Paul Rudd, obviously, where he's there. He's trying to, I keep thinking about, is that somebody's sandwich? The same sandwich they've been passing around
back and forth.
And he goes and grabs it. I'm like,
just starts eating it.
that was for me, because for me at that point, up till then, I've been taking everything so seriously. That was when they finally got me to like, oh, okay, chill a little bit, okay? Yeah. But the funniest part to me, where I busted out laughing the most, was when he walks into the elevator with Hydra.
Yo, that was so smart.
And then he stands there.
That
and
was
then
so
now
cool.
basically says, the Secretary said I should take this. And they go, what? Hail Hydra. I just started laughing. And then he walks out. It works.
That was dope.
So loud.
That was fan service.
Yes.
That was fan service.
Right. That scene.
They totally subverted. Like, I love the way they picked specific points to subvert your expectation. So they kept pulling you and pushing you and pulling you and pushing you all through the movie.
So my wife mentioned the one that I thought of. Hulk no like stairs. That scene was so fucking funny when Hulk is like going down the stairs, and then he's like, "Yeah, well, I got hit in the head with a Hulk, so."
Kurt Stabler.
Too many stairs.
Like Fat Thor, and Fat Thor yelling at the kid in Fortnite.
Dude, that was great.
Yeah, that was what I was gonna say. That whole scene where they like get there and the two guys from Thor Ragnarok, I was fucking stoked to see them.
Korg and Meek.
Hello, mate. How's it going?
Hello, mate.
Like playing Fortnite. He's like, oh, he's yelling at me.
Shocked to see them though. Like, I got to tell you, the good thing about those guys is they're totally CG characters. So
yeah,
I mean, Taika Waititi could just go anytime and record his lines in secret. No one ever know. So, but that was impressive to me. I had no clue they were going to be there. I was thrilled to see them there, but I had no clue it was coming.
Oh, another scene I teared up was Tony Stark talking to his dad. That shit was sad. That was actually probably more sad to me than the like
really
love you 3000 part. Yeah, like that scene with him and his dad where he like hugged his dad and was like,
I love that scene. I really did.
Like, all that. She's like, you did a great job. And he hugged him, and then his dad was like, the fuck is this guy?
Right.
Like that scene. That was an amazing scene.
It was cool. It was good.
Robert Downey Jr. blew away every movie he's ever been in this movie. And we say it all the time. Usually me, Jason, and Tank like give nerdy shit about like Iron Man and Robert Downey Jr. I fucking loved him in this movie though. Just as an actor.
Yeah.
Like it's really bad to be coming into your own when you're like 65.
I know, right? Yeah.
He fucking killed it.
I love the backhanded compliment. Like, oh, he's so good. But it's sad that you're just now hitting stride at 65.
I wonder if he's getting back into drugs or if it's just like different. Maybe different drugs are making him better, which is cool. Like,
dude, stop it, man. Stop. Come on.
Oh, that's funny.
I fucking love it. Bro. Like, those are good compliments. And Robert Downey Jr. is the type of guy that would be like, you know what? I'll take.
I should do some drugs. That's what he would say.
Dude, another chuckle moment that I had to point out. He's like, no, switch back with me. When they catch you, when Thor catches the hammer and Cap catches the axe.
You take a little one.
Yeah, you take a little one.
Yeah.
That was such a bro and Thor moment at the same time.
That was good.
When Thor was just like explaining the shitty plot of Thor 2, also fucking awesome. About just like how shitty that movie is. Like they were like,
oh,
we know this
movie is so good.
Shit.
Oh,
let's make fun
I'll tell you
of
this much.
The Frost Giant. Ooh.
You guys gotta admit.
Thor is our new comedy, our new comedy character for everything. Let's make it really fat and poke fun at how shitty Thor 2 is.
How about when he gets to the Guardians of the Galaxy ship and him and Peter Quill are sitting there and he's like, we all know who the boss is. He's like, yeah, of course we do. Of course we do. And he's like,
even when he's like drunk in Asgard with Rocket Raccoon, and he's like running away. And
Rocket's like, come here.
I can't do it. I can't.
Come closer. Scrap.
Rocket Raccoon is the voice of reason.
Right?
Yeah. And he's like, all right, let's do this, and turns around, he's just fucking gone. I was like, that's so great.
I love how
he did. You know what though? Out of all of them, Rocket Raccoon did it all on his own.
That's what I was
got
gonna
the stone all by himself.
This is true.
Everybody else needed a team.
I loved how they showed Natalie Portman stand up. Rocket went into the room, and then the next thing you see of Rocket is he's like, "Well, I got it."
He's like running away.
You don't see how he got it, but he's getting chased by everyone. He's like, "I got the stone," and you're like, "What?"
And Thor's just like crying with his mom.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on in there? But Rocket got it. That's all that matters.
Hey, that's all that matters.
Oh God, that scene was so good.
I got to tell you guys, man, Chris Hemsworth is, I don't know, prior to his doing Thor 3, I think his comedy chops had been so sharpened. Like his sense of timing for comedy now is so sharp.
I think he's a lot like Channing Tatum, in my opinion, of like someone who built their career off of being like very, 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 very attractive, and then they're like, watch me be funny, because attractive people can also be funny. It's not just for fat people.
Like Channing Tatum in 21 Jump Street,
hilarious. I think I feel like both, and well, I guess he's kind of different, but yeah, I feel like both of them did it the same way, and then Peter Quill or whatever,
Chris Pratt
did the opposite.
He did it the opposite way. Him and the guy from Deadpool, whatever his name is,
Ryan Reynolds.
They did the opposite. They weren't like teen heartthrobs. They were funny people.
Ryan Reynolds has been a heartthrob. Like,
well, he wasn't a heartthrob.
Yeah, no. Hey, whoa. We're not debating his heartthrobness. The point is, I get his point. They went from comedy to being considered sexy men versus the other guys who went from sexy men to showing that they can also do comedy.
Yeah, no comedy at all. Like they started as comedians.
Difference. I think Chris Hemsworth can act, other than Channing Tatum, who can't.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Tatum's not that good at acting.
Very loose connection to Channing Tatum.
Yeah. Huh? So we did our favorite. We did our tear up one. We did our laugh one. Also, I'm surprised nobody said the taco scene. That was hilarious.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good.
That was fun.
It's like, woo.
The Hulk scene.
Oh, the tacos wasn't it. What was funny was
bad about not getting a selfie. That shit was pretty funny.
Oh yeah.
No, they're like, oh, take a selfie. He's like, oh, you don't want one with me? And he's like, clearly he wants to take a picture. The kid's like, yeah, we'll do it. He's like, no, it's fun. It's a pity thing.
And the one kid in the middle goes, he's shaking his head no. Right? No.
Yeah. I love the directing in that scene. I love the directing in that scene because they're directing the kids to each be individual. The girl's trying to be, yeah, sure. The boy's trying to be like, yeah. And then the kid in the middle is like, no, I don't care about this.
It's very true of like kids at those ages too.
Exactly.
Like when you're like 6, you'll tell everybody that they smell bad.
Yeah.
I want to get close and they smell like crap. The 13-year-old's like, yeah, I'll take a picture with you, I guess.
I'll delete it later, but yeah.
Yeah, that. I will say that was the first time. No, I think I laughed when he had the help me sign in the cage.
Dude, you laugh at Paul Rudd could just wink and you'd laugh.
Yeah.
So
Paul
forget
Rudd,
that.
Moving forward, I think Ant-Man could easily be my favorite. But
moving forward, Paul Rudd is our president.
Paul Rudd's so funny, dude.
I would vote for him every day.
So let's go with your favorite.
I fucking know
the moment of the movie that I don't want to say your favorite action scene. Let's say like the one that got your attention the most. Like, I guess
got my attention.
Like, the obvious is the portals, right? That's the obvious answer.
Nah.
Did you guys' theater like actually start hooping and hollering at that scene? Because me and my theater did. So.
I love what you said.
My electrician was in the same movie as me, dude. Isn't that wild?
I heard from guys in Nigeria when the portals open and Black Panther steps out and the whole crew and everybody starts stepping out, people start yelling, "Whoa!" And then the second he goes, "Ibambe!" the whole theater responds, "Ibambe!" Like this.
Oh, that's dope. That actually got me, dude. When I wasn't expecting that Ibambe. That was pretty dope. I actually like that a lot.
Cool.
Have you used this bottle opener on this thing you got me, Jason?
I don't have that one. I have a different one.
I stabbed myself with this. Look how sharp this is. I was like trying to open it, and I was just like,
I only get weapons.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a tool. Yeah, right. It's a weapon.
You should know by now.
So
I just stabbed myself so hard.
So I have a different. So the one that you're not supposed to. Kurt says you're not supposed to use the opener that way. So
you can stab yourself with anything if you try hard enough.
Yeah. So the one scene that kind of, I guess, surprised me, that and Brandon kind of hinted at it earlier, when Pepper shows up in her suit. How dope was that? Bruh, I was like, yo, this is fucking cool. Like,
the best thing about that for me is I forgot.
I completely missed it as like the girl wearing her mask. I mean, he's like, oh, that's something I got for your mom. Blah, blah,
She never wears what I make her.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like a fucking, like just a random thing, had nothing to do with anything. Boy, was I wrong.
Bro, she came in fucking dope.
To begin with, Gwyneth Paltrow already spoiled that she would probably be in the suit, last year.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
I don't read anything.
No, I know you don't. Here's my point. My point is, My point is, for those who follow that stuff, she kind of spoiled it, but the movie was so good and so immersive that at the end, because everybody thought she'd put on the suit, maybe show up in space and rescue Tony or some shit. But at the end, when she finally does show up, you're like, oh my God, I forgot about this. It was such a good moment that you just realized you totally forgot.
Yeah, I'm going to steal it. How about somebody being worthy and not just carrying half a shield, but now he's got a freaking hammer too?
I knew
that was super. Yeah, that was a really good part.
At that point, he had the full shield.
Oh, what? It was still a full shield at that point?
Still a full shield, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the most overpowered. I know that we were talking about Captain Marvel like a month ago, whatever, being overpowered, and Batman. Okay, so Naru and I used to have this conversation. This is how the Nerds from Work started. Naru and I used to have conversations all the time on which superheroes would win.
And
like this one or this one. But if we ever got caught like on a hang up,
right,
we would say it was Batman with the Green Lantern ring.
Right.
Okay.
Like he beats everyone.
Yep.
Batman with the ring that's based off the power of will, you beat everyone.
Yep.
Straight up.
Now you give Captain America not only his shield, but all of Thor's power. Are you
Mjolnir?
Kidding? No, like it wasn't just Mjolnir.
Right.
He was summoning thunder.
The lightning, yeah.
Lightning. Are you fucking?
And he was doing it with style too.
Like, dude, I love
when his lightning flow was on fleek.
When he threw either the shield or the hammer and then threw the other one off of it, and caught them both again. I was like, oh shit!
Pulling combos, man. Like video game combos.
It's like he been using that hammer his whole life. That shit was sweet.
It's ridiculous. Although, to be fair, if you get the power of Thor, I'm guessing that means you also get the instruction manual how to use it.
Hey, whatever works, man. That shit was dope.
I don't know why, but like, and this was like 2 weeks ago. I was just going through YouTube and I saw the clip where they all try to lift Thor's hammer.
Mm-hmm.
From Ultron.
2 weeks ago, I watched it. Yeah, Age of Ultron. And when Cap tries to lift it, he barely moves,
scoots,
but then he stops and he's like, oh, but it zooms in on Thor's face.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, whoa, shit.
That was like a 1 or 2 minute clip.
If that, yeah.
In a movie that was probably the least favorite Avengers movie.
Right.
And that was that clip. And then all of a sudden, all bets are off.
So now let's ask a question based off of that. There's 2 theories going around. One of the several theories, but one of the theories is that Cap actually wasn't fully worthy, because he had in his it wasn't until he told the truth about Bucky that he was finally not holding any secrets and everything, and that's the reason why he could finally lift Mjolnir. The second theory, which is the theory I kind of subscribe to, was that, dude, he could lift Mjolnir the entire time. He just didn't know it. And that day, when he tried to lift it, it budged and surprised him. But the camera cut to Thor, didn't show his face. He tries to lift it, and you can tell he's like, he doesn't, he just leaves it there. And Thor realizes nobody's ever even budged this thing, but it moved. So it was like like he was going to pretend to lift it, and because he didn't think he could, then he did, and he left it and didn't touch it. But all that time he knew he could. That's the only reason why on the battlefield, when they need somebody to swing that thing, he even tries to move it. Because otherwise, why else would he even try?
I feel like Captain America too, in his like ethos, it's like, this isn't mine. This is Thor's thing. Let him.
Yeah, thank you. Yes,
that's what I subscribe to. Yeah, Brandon.
And he's like, I probably know I could if I tried, and that's why, like, yeah, he was definitely probably like super shocked that he did it. So it's just adding on to what you said, Nura.
Yeah.
It's like,
I agree with you 100%. In fact, in the debate,
like,
somebody said, why did he do it then? I'm like, because he's honorable. He's like, this is not my thing. I'm going to leave this alone. I'm shocked. And that's why he never brought it up.
It's a military thing too, right, Jason? Correct me if I'm wrong. It's like, this is my gun. I love my gun. That's your gun. You love your gun. Know everything about your own thing, your own weapon. And he has a shield. It's not, the hammer is not his weapon.
Right.
Also,
it's someone else's
leader, right? So, like, if you're the leader and this guy has something that makes him special, he does. Yeah. Like, okay, Brandon is the funny one. Everyone knows Brandon is our Michelangelo, right? Brandon's our Michelangelo. But if Tank came in here and just started cracking jokes all the time,
I would
therefore making Brandon irrelevant, Tank wouldn't do that because he's like, okay, let's let Brandon have his thing.
Yeah.
See, Brandon, we keep your
you're right. It's good leadership.
Well, if Tank came in like cracking jokes, I would love that so much, dude. It would be like what you aren't expecting, like Fat Thor. Like I wasn't expecting Fat Thor, and I loved it to death.
Did anybody else? Okay, so speaking of Fat Thor, I can throw it. Kurt said when the double catch, when he's like, and he freaking like armors out. That scene was dope.
Bro, when he armors out and it keeps his fucking gut, I was
so that's my question. The whole movie, I kept expecting him to like get zapped with thunder and then be back to fucking Hemsworth.
Yeah.
The whole movie.
Bro, I was like, time travel? He's gonna lose weight.
Yeah.
Fucking come back 5 seconds later.
Dude, I couldn't believe.
And have a shirtless scene. But he did.
The double catch was tight. But I like the speech before the double catch, before he suited up, where, it was Cap, Iron Man, and Thor. And when they lined up, Kelsey was like, where's everyone else? I was like, no, honey, this is the Trinity. Like, this is what it is. And she was like, okay. And then, they're like, we're probably not going to survive this. Is everyone cool with that? And they're like, yeah. And he's like, good. I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah.
I got chill bumps. I was like, oh, yeah.
Well, that's like when Cap does his speech and Raccoon's like, man, he's really good at that.
Yeah.
Right. And you see Paul Rudd, he's like, right.
Another scene I was super stoked about, similar to the pot scene, was Spider-Man using the fucking
insta-kill? Bro, activate insta-kill?
When they came out and he just started just killing everybody with arms, I was like,
that shit
the
was
Iron
dope.
Spider suit came alive, dude.
That whole gauntlet scene.
That was good.
Him like, I was like, this is it. They were, it was like passing off. That was filmed amazing.
Yes.
And I know like probably like 96% of it was CGI.
Still.
Regardless.
It was
like,
so smart.
How it was panning through the whole thing. And it was almost like it reminded me 100% of a J.J. Abrams flight, like Star Wars J.J. Abrams scene where like Poe Dameron and everybody was like coming in on the jets, and it would go from ground fighting and then seamlessly pan up into like a dogfight and then back down to people fight. Like it was flawless.
The first Avengers, that was the best, where you have Cap fighting, and then Cap throws a shield. Shield goes by Hawkeye. Hawkeye is shooting. Arrow goes by, and it keeps going hero to hero. That is what it reminded me of, that gauntlet.
To me, that one was more gimmicky.
I loved it.
It was each person's gimmick, which is good and fan service and everything. This one was more like, this is the object.
Right. Here's the football. Keep it moving. Can we take a second to talk about how fucking dope Ronan looked in that fucking mohawk with the sleeve, bro?
Yeah.
Dude, I almost went and finished
the
my
Shogun
sleeve.
tattoo.
Yo, I almost went and finished my sleeve after the movie, bro. I was like, that is so fucking
Did
cool.
you notice no one ever called him Ronin?
No one, yeah.
I noticed. Yeah, that was kind of interesting.
He was Ronin, never said Ronin.
I feel like part of that is them playing to the other side of the coin of like how much fan service they did have. If they were calling him Ronin, or he was like, I go by Ronin,
no one would.
People like Kelsey who are like, I only watched the last movie and this movie. First of all, I don't know who this fucking guy is.
She didn't.
Second of all, now
no idea what the first scene was. She was like, "Who is that guy?"
Oh yeah.
Second of all, now he's got like 3 names. Who is this person?
Right.
I got to tell you this much. I really like the way they characterized the impact, the crushing impact of losing his family. The fact that I lost my family, and then he has to watch. Because think about it, 5 years go by. In that time, he's seen the world deteriorate. He's seen the freedoms he fought for and the things he fought for as an agent, as a soldier, and all that just crumble. And somehow you just know in that kind of world, the bad guys are going to thrive. They're going to come together. They're going to find ways to kind of set up their own little cliques and just thrive, providing stuff people need and so on and so forth. And he's like, nah, I ain't having this. Like, if good people died, you guys don't deserve to live. And he goes after every bad guy from the Mexican cartels to the Yakuza. That was awesome to me. And then when the bad guy finally says, he says, you won't hurt anybody anymore. And then the Yakuza leader looks around and goes, we won't hurt people? Look at what you did. That's so amazing.
From Ronin. So go ahead.
Well, to tack on the end of that, we were talking about like how the acting of Robert Downey Jr. Jeremy Renner's acting when he does the very first time test and he sees his family and he's trying to run, and when he comes back and he's still holding that glove, you're like, oh shit! Like it kind of like it gave him a little bit of hope, but it also like wrecked him. He was like, oh my god,
I thought they were gonna play that scene up way more though.
Really?
I did too.
When he got back, I really expected him to like
lose it,
go AWOL on people, sit back, blah, 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 do that, and then he just stood up and was like, all right, it worked.
Nah, he's focused. He's
focused.
He's always been the focused guy.
Yeah, for sure.
He's always been the team player. But let's talk about the biggest scene between Black Widow and Hawkeye, where they have to make the sacrifice.
But you
and
knew
one of them has to die.
Can we preface this by seeing what was stupid about that scene first, and then saying what we loved?
First off, you have to sacrifice what means most to you. It wasn't that what Thanos had to do? And that's why he brought Gamora, because that's the
exact phrasing was, you must lose that which you love.
That which you love was what they said. At least in this movie, that's what they said.
And that's what confused.
No, same thing in the last movie. Okay, word for word.
And Kelsey was like, so wait, do they love each other because he has a wife and kids? Why?
They love each other.
They love each other, but they were partners.
Right.
A long time ago, they were partners, and now he's got a family, and they know like they're not a thing anymore. But it kept confusing Kelsey because she's like, but doesn't he have a family? These are superheroes. He's not supposed to be cheating on his. I was like, he's not cheating.
Yeah, so, Thanos didn't have like an emotional like thing with his daughter. Like it was his daughter. There's different types of love other than just being married.
But to me, I was trying to explain it to her, which it's hard if you've never been in the military or anything like that. Like
that's a good example.
Between me and my like Brandon's my brother and I love him, but I also have love for my Marine Corps brothers. So losing either of them would be detrimental to me.
Right.
So that's kind of the love that I was trying to explain between Hawkeye and Black Widow.
Yeah.
I think you've hit on I'll tell you this much, Kelsey, if you don't watch the show, listen to this part of it because it's really cool. You've hit on one thing that pisses me off in the way people like, if you want to bring gay characters and, into the Marvel Cinematic Universe or Marvel, that's fine, do your thing. My issue is don't take love or relationships that are based on something else and then pervert it into what you want it to be. Don't turn it into what you want it to be. Look at it for what it is. Like what you just said right there. There's a relationship that you have with somebody when you've gone through some real tough stuff together.
Yeah.
And just because you both happen to be a guy and a girl doesn't mean automatically you got to marry, you're in love. That doesn't mean that's what it is. At the same time, It could be two guys. It doesn't have to be romantic. Not everything is sexual.
Yeah.
Some things are just the bonds that are formed between people. And then you got to look at it. Think about it. Black Widow in the first Avengers movie, the first time we see her, she's undercover, not willing to compromise herself. And then Coulson says, Hawkeye has been compromised. The second she hears that, she's like, okay, give me a minute. She takes out everybody, breaks, blows her cover and heads back. Why? Because of him. Like, he's the only person they could tell her was in trouble that would make her, to stop what she was doing and head back.
We'll get to it in a second, Jason. Hang on to it. We'll get to it because I like that a lot.
Okay.
Secondly, and this is another thing, if you track her, when the Age of Ultron, do you recall that when everybody found out about Hawkeye's family, everybody was shocked. Like, Tony's like, those are little
But she
children.
knew.
He just couldn't believe that he had a family. She knew the family. She knew about the wife and the kids. She walked in like, hey, and she's hugging the baby. I'm like,
Auntie, what's her face?
And they were calling her Auntie.
Yeah.
Thank you. So you can see her reaction to him. Like, she cares for this guy.
Before we step on that grenade tank, do you guys think it was the right choice of Black Widow over Hawkeye?
100%. 100%. He had family to go back to. Like, yes, she has like the Avengers, but again, most of us here, 3/4 of us here have kids. Like, get him back to his wife and kids. Like, that has to take precedence.
But
I don't even think that was the right choice to send on that mission.
Well, we'll get to that in a second.
Is the perfect, but see, they didn't know.
They had no clue about that.
They had no clue about that.
No. The Soul Stone, they all knew. Thanos went with somebody, two powerful people, Gamora and Thanos went somewhere, and then one of them died. You don't send the two weakest people on your team in terms of physical powers to that spot.
So let's transition to that. Kurt brought it up. It could have easily been Cap and Bucky.
But Bucky's gone, remember?
It could have been Hulk.
Oh, shit. Bucky was still dusted at this point.
It could have been Hulk and Black Widow.
Could have been Hulk and Black Widow. Okay.
Hulk and Black Widow is a love relationship. Like, it is a, interest.
Right.
And he has the power to deal with that sort of stuff.
What if they sent Thor and Rocket Raccoon there? Like, how would you get the sorcery out?
It actually would have made sense, but
like, they actually lucked the fuck out with who they sent. It's not that they sent a bad team. They got very lucky at who they sent, because any of the other teams, if they went, there weren't two people who were close enough to actually.
Right.
So they would have just been there and been like, "Yep, fucked." I still
think it was a dumb tactical decision, but fine.
If it were Cap and Bucky, both of those are terrible if you lose either of them.
Yeah.
Because they're both so strong.
Don't you guys think that fight sequence was just badass?
It was cool.
It was
between
super cool.
Black Widow and Hawkeye.
It definitely had me on my seat, because I could have seen them killing either.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Because, like, similar with like the Iron Man thing, I was like, man, they, like, when I saw that he was happy and I was like, he's definitely dying, I was like, man, they could be playing this Hawkeye shit up this whole time and just murder him so that way, and then Black Widow comes and, like, helps take care of the family and all that. Like, I could definitely see that for them to pull on her. So I was like, I could see either one of them dying, so I don't know how this fight is going to end.
That scene, in a nutshell, I think was the best acting between Jeremy Renner and Scarlett Johansson that we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it struck me because I was looking at it as like a partnership military bond kind of love, and like letting your partner go like that. But when she just straightens her hand up and says, "Let me go," and not trying to hold on, not anything, and he was crying.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, dude."
Nah, I cried. I cried straight up.
And then it showed her at the bottom.
It showed her on the ground. That was the weird part.
Dude, my row was crying. Like, I could just, I cried. You next to me cried. Daughter was shaking.
I didn't even like her as a character. I thought she was hands down the
I think we all thought she was the worst character out of.
She was hands down.
What? Speak for yourself.
Hands down the worst Avengers. But
overall,
I think she has earned her place in that movie. I mean, the only time I think they made her
in that movie,
she has her moments.
That whole entire arc, I think they messed her up when they tried to do a love triangle or a love relationship with Hulk. Beyond that, she's been the same steady, thing she's been. Good soldier, like Fury said one time. Natasha Romanoff is down for anything. You know, he told Captain America, it's like, you know, there's some things you're not cool with. She's cool with everything. That's who she is.
So, who is your favorite character from Endgame? Because there were a lot of strong.
Come on, man.
and they didn't have to live.
Come on, man.
Who is your favorite character?
Shit.
Nah, I can't answer that question. I can't.
It's so hard.
That's not even.
I'm gonna go on to. I would have to say Iron Man probably.
Wow.
I knew you were going to say that.
Wow.
Yeah. He really surprised me. I fucking hate him. He really surprised me. I never even watched Iron Man 3 or 2. I don't even know if I don't even watch Iron Man 2.
That's funny.
But like he really. That
means you don't know who that kid was at the funeral.
I had to Google. I didn't know who that was.
Yeah, I Googled it. But yeah, I really thought he stepped up a lot. I loved his like story arc through the whole movie. He was the one character that like every one of his scenes, I was like, come on, man, fuck out of here. I mean, I love Ant-Man, like Ant-Man's the shit, but he's also like comic relief of the movie.
Right.
Yeah, Iron Man's whole thing, like meeting his dad, the family, sacrificing everything, figuring out fucking time travel, and then having a freaking fruit pop with his daughter.
Oh shit.
Like, he solved shit when he's been able to solve, and then was like, yeah, fruit pop, that's what I said. And it's like he killed that movie for sure.
Yeah. I love how Avengers settled time travel.
It was a very interesting take on it.
They're like, no, every other movie's wrong. Period.
Dude,
it doesn't matter.
Him naming those movies was brilliant.
Oh, yeah. Wait, you're basing this whole theory off of Back to the Future? Yeah. Like, Ant-Man is. Oh god. So I'm Team Cap still. I thought the end for Captain America was deserved.
Oh no, I 100% agree with that.
For sure.
That was also deserved.
He was one, like, as the movie was made to be those two, like that was a very strong second to me, a very close second.
Cap, he saved the world how many times? And you know, I think that it was kind of too easy to see what he was gonna do.
Yeah, we all.
Oh yeah.
Everyone knew.
I love the fact that Bucky knew. Like Bucky made it very clear that he knew something was right.
Yeah.
Alex thought he wasn't going to come back from the first trip to the past.
Neither did I.
When they were like, when they went back.
Oh, and he's standing in her office. Yeah.
Yeah. She nudged me. She was like, he's not going back. He's not going back.
FYI, Peggy Carter looked good for 49.
Well, so I think Captain America had what he deserved, like the whole time, because he saved it. He's been through it. And then how they wrapped it up at the end,
that was cool.
And they gave Falcon the shield.
Yep.
That is fan service too. And I was like, I'm glad they chose, because everyone, if you've listened to the show, you know that I am an Anthony Mackie fan, and I'm stoked because now that means that the Disney Plus show might still be Cap and the Winter Soldier.
Yo, I didn't even think about that. That's dope.
Yep.
Very true.
And that could be
Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, teaching Sam, like, hey, this is kind of how we do things.
Yeah, that's kind of dope.
You know, this is it.
I like that.
But I would still be cool if it's Winter Soldier and Falcon. I'd still be cool with that.
Yeah.
Bucky's still learning how we do things. I mean, he's been brainwashed for a long time.
But I thought that whole story arc, his whole thing, he deserved it. He grew old. He got married to the love of his life. And then he hands it over to Sam. And that was perfect. Because
he still outlives her. He knows I'm still going to outlive her. And, goes back and gets to enjoy all that time with her. And then it's like, okay, cool. I'll just hang out here until they show up.
He's still got super soldiers.
He mentioned it in Civil War, too. She told young Cap that she got married to the love of her life.
What?
And didn't tell him who it was.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Nah.
She didn't tell a name. She wouldn't tell a name.
So it's technically a different timeline, right? the way
it's
they.
a difference.
Why me?
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't have time to delve into. I don't think we do have time to delve into the plot lines and the timeline theory. But I will say this much. I debated this with some other guys, and then I think just today, the Russos did an interview where they talked about it and confirmed some of the things that we agreed on, which is that the Captain America who shows up at the end of the movie is the same guy, but from a different timeline. Like he travels back, cuts off all those other timelines, but by remaining in the past, he creates a whole new timeline. And then he comes back from that timeline, triggering whatever the recall mechanism, which is what Hulk sees that, hey, he blew past his timestamp. We don't know when he came back, but he blew back. He clearly blew past the timestamp that we had for him. He's been here, or he shows up here. Then we see him at the end. He's sitting down waiting for them to finish their whole, bye-bye and take care and see you and goodbye. So it's the same Cap, but he's lived a life in a totally different timeline.
Yeah.
But he got the life he deserved.
He did.
For sure.
Frank, who is your favorite character?
Fuck, dude, that's so hard. Like,
I'm not even gonna, look. I can't answer that question. I'm not gonna. I wish I could. I
don't know if I can, dude. And like, because honestly, I mean, this is really, when you boil it down, this is Cap and Iron Man's movie, dude. Like, yes, Thor plays a huge part. Like, all the other characters are in it. Those two are like the emotional weight behind this movie, which is why they got kind of like the best send-offs in some ways. And so I got to give it to both of them, dude. They just,
and I love the fact that they kind of tossed the comedy around. Hulk had a bit of it, right. Thor had a bit of it,
Ant-Man.
Paul Rudd had a bit of it. So it was. I love the
War Machine was like, what's that? War Machine naming all those time travel movies.
So War Machine, I thought that this was one of his better movies.
Yo, are we not going to talk about Thanos at all?
Fuck Thanos.
I mean, like, yeah.
Thanos.
I just want to say that this was the most vicious version of Thanos I have ever seen. Like the scene where he takes them all on, that was like, you can see this guy is probably the best superpowered fighter I've ever seen. The way he's adapting to everybody.
Yo, because even without the gauntlet, he was smacking some bitches around. So
yeah, with that sword.
Well, so okay, question about the sword. My dad asked me, do we think that sword was forged in the same place that Mjolnir and the axe was forged?
No. Wherever it was forged, it's from some place where there's stuff stronger than vibranium. I'll give you that.
Right?
Because
chop that shit in half.
He's hacking through vibranium like.
That was crazy.
Unless it's vibranium itself, in which case
that wouldn't make sense because like he doesn't know anything about Earth. Until...
It would because vibranium
is from space. You're right.
Yeah, it's a meteor that fell from space.
You're right.
So one scene that I did like, I didn't like who started it because it was Captain Marvel, but I did love the fan service nod they gave.
A-Force.
All the female characters.
A-Force.
That was dope.
Yeah, baby.
That was super dope.
And how they led that charge. I did not like that Captain Marvel started.
Why?
But then, because I just don't, she's overpowered and I don't like her.
She's overpowered? Just because you don't like the character, she's overpowered? When she was smashing through all kinds of stuff, you didn't think it was...
Yeah. When she took that headbutt from Thanos, that was dope.
Yeah, that was super dope, and it was obviously a dig at Wonder Woman.
That was dope.
That was something that people were asking after Ant-Man and the Wasp movie. It was like, oh, when can we get an all-female?
So they teased
and then all the females show up.
Yeah.
Now, what about what's her face from Wakanda? What's her name?
Shuri?
Okoye.
Oh no, Okoye. The sister of the general.
Cannons?
No, yeah, that's Shuri.
The hand cannons.
Yeah, Shuri's the hand cannons.
Those hand cannons were tight.
Yeah.
I also think this movie is the best representation of how powerful, like, Magi or whatever.
Dude, the wizards showed up big in this movie, dude.
Like Scarlet Witch or whatever.
Oh, her too, yeah.
She almost single-handedly destroyed Thanos.
Almost.
No, she took him. He was gonna die.
Yeah, he was legit about to die.
That was tight.
He was legit going to die. She broke
was like,
him up,
"Yep, you're
took out
dead."
his armor.
And then he was like, "Fuck it, kill everybody."
Yeah.
I was like, "It's gonna kill you."
Fire.
Kill them all. Kill everyone. Come on.
When she goes, "You took everything from me," and he says, "I don't even know you."
Oh, you will.
About to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was dope.
Like
Okay, now I
Doctor
gotta
Strange
go.
holding an entire like sea at bay.
Ocean back, yo.
Yeah, like
Dude,
What about Wong though?
yeah,
Yeah,
like
man.
Wong's dope too.
all those things. Also, just like the ability for Doctor Strange to know. Think about this. He looked into the future, died. The like moment he came back, because Spider-Man said this.
Yeah.
Like he was explaining it. He's like, "Oh, you gotta know what happened." But like the moment he woke up, he was like, "Get your shit ready. It's about to be a war." And everybody was like, "What?" And then just like teleported everybody in, and you're like,
everybody
In the universe.
Set
What I really like about that is you can tell that he knew not to teleport right away to the place of the battle. They teleported where they could marshal the armies, they marshaled the Asgardians, they marshaled the Ravagers, dude. The Ravagers were there from Guardians of the Galaxy. They marshaled every badass they could find.
He was able to do that in moments.
You know what Wong said? You know what Wong said? You wanted more?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. So so we had been like talking at work about like most powerful people, and I was always like, like Doctor Strange is super powerful. Like the people who can use magic are super powerful. And everybody was like, no, it's the time stone that makes them powerful. And I'm like, oh, they are very, very powerful.
No, it's not the time stone.
Like the movies haven't done justice at all to those characters. In this movie, it's like, yeah, this is it.
I love the fact that they had the Ancient One affirm how powerful he is. Like, Doctor Strange is a guy who screwed up and redeemed his life. But most of us don't realize that was sometime in the past. He's become a much more powerful person. And then when Bruce is talking to her and basically says, listen, she says, we can't give it up. It's our duty to protect it. We never give it up. And he goes, so why did Doctor Strange give it up? And she goes, what? Willingly? Yeah. And that's when you understand the multiple layers to what he did. He didn't give it up, quote unquote, to save Tony's life. The timing was to save Tony's life.
Right.
But he gave it up because he knew that's the only way that the Ancient One would say, wait,
the battle to save the war.
Right. That if he didn't give it up, she would never trust Banner and give it up.
If he didn't say that, because she said, oh, okay, yeah, you can have it. He's like, why? And he said, she said,
he's meant to be the best of us.
Yeah, she said he knows because he's meant to be the best of us.
Yeah,
and it's
I love that exchange. That exchange was cool because Hulk is like, he made a mistake, and she goes, or I did, because clearly I must have made the mistake. He's the best of us. Yeah, and she pulls Hulk back, gives it. Man, she manhandled Hulk though.
Bruh, she just like popped that bitch out like a pimple. Just said bloop. Pop.
Exactly. Exactly. And Doctor Strange is the best of them, dude. So.
Yeah.
Kurt wants to know, did anybody see the Nova Corps?
So they were pre-snap, right? He destroyed them to get the first stone, so they would not have come back with the snap.
Right.
So that leaves the room for us to have just the one Nova character.
Wait, did Iron Man snap only bring people back from?
Yes.
You mean Hulk snap?
No,
Hulk snap. Yeah, Hulk
snap. That only brought people back from the snap of Thanos on Earth.
Yes. Okay. That's how I take it.
Well, no. Anybody in the universe who was snapped away, the snap, Hulk brought them back.
But if they died, like Gamora died pre-snap. So
Loki died pre-snap.
But if you died regularly...
Loki left, though.
Loki's
a different timeline. You're going to see
different timeline.
Yeah, everything's a different timeline, dude. They killed Thanos. But it still happens.
There's a timeline where the Avengers never have to deal with Thanos, which also creates the possibility that some other badass is going to come to fill his spot because
which is not the timeline at the end of the movie.
No.
Yeah, because that's how Back to the Future works. Not
Warhammer goes, hey guys, why don't we just go back in time? Maybe Thanos. Like that is fan service too, where it's like, maybe Thanos.
And then, like that's terrible.
Maybe, but it's Thanos. It's like,
first of all, that's disgusting. But secondly, time doesn't work that way.
Yeah, on the topic of like multiple timelines, really quick, the multiple timeline thing is definitely real, and it alludes to it in the Easter egg of the van of like that specific Earth 616 or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Like it alludes to it in the beginning of the movie where the van was in storage. That
the number on this van was 616. I saw it.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
it's like it's basically telling you, yeah, there are the multiple timelines, the multiple worlds. We're splitting it into 1 million during this movie, so it doesn't matter what inconsistencies happen because there's a ton of fucking timelines.
So, Kurt actually brought it up about Loki disappearing. That ties right into Disney Plus creating a Loki series.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's how that timeline. Yeah.
That's how that happens.
And we also know that they're going to do a what if series.
They're going to do a what if?
Yeah, there's rumors that they're going to do a what if animated series on.
Oh, animated. Okay.
Yeah, on. So that some of the things I'm thinking is they could probably answer some of those questions there as well.
All right, so let's wrap this up and say we've done a whole bunch of stuff that we loved in this movie. What are you looking for? Oh, because there was no end scene credit. What are you looking for moving forward?
No, there was an end scene credit.
No. We'll get to the end scene credit. We'll get to it. What are you looking for moving forward, though? Because they really didn't give us anything.
Well,
far from home.
Well, even past that, though, like Fantastic Four. I want them to bring Fantastic Four in next.
Oh, dude. I wanted to bring that up.
Because because Naru and I talked about it last week.
Wait, who do you want, Brandon?
No. We had talked about it multiple times on the show.
That
like,
too.
When Iron Man dies, who's going to be the smart person? But like now it's just like Hulk smart person is going to be that smart person, and then we're like, oh, it's Fantastic Four.
Shuri is.
Shuri is smart. That's true too.
Shuri.
Yeah.
He's super smart.
That's true.
Yeah, but we were just talking about that previously.
She's debatably smarter than them.
Right.
I don't know if it's debatable. I think she is smart.
I think because here's the thing. I think she just saw something they didn't see. Doesn't mean she's smarter than them overall. But because, I mean, you can spot the thing that other people don't see when you look at what they did. That's all.
Rue, what are you looking forward to next?
I've heard people say, this was such an emotional high that they just think that this is almost metaphorically the end, and Marvel is never going to get this high anymore. I'm looking forward to Marvel showing people that, yeah, baby, just you wait till you're like 10 years down the road, and then we got the Fantastic Four teaming up with the X-Men, going up against Annihilus, and then they got like Doom, and
The next I want to see, the next big series I want, like the Collision, Avengers versus X-Men.
They're talking about it.
I want to see that.
I've heard rumors about it.
That's a really bad rumor.
Is Sam Wilson, the Falcon, taking over the mantle as Captain America, my favorite hero in Marvel. I want to see that. That's what I want to see.
I'm also looking forward to Doctor Strange too, because I'm a Strange fan.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I want to see Doctor Strange again. Like at this point, like, okay, so what's he going to do next?
What did you guys think about the end scene, the end credit?
What? About the hammer tinging?
I thought it was pretty dope. It was clearly homage.
So it's an homage, but also what you were saying I missed. The kid from Iron Man 3, Tony has been sending him parts. It was mentioned in another movie throughout this whole period. Is it him building the next Iron Man suit to be the next Iron Man?
Isn't Iron Man a girl later in the comics?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can't his daughter take over Iron Man? Because his daughter can easily be as smart as he is.
His daughter can take over Iron Man in the future.
But in Iron Man 3, the kid helped him already build an Iron Man.
Right.
So he knows how to build a suit. He's been getting parts.
No.
And at the end, you hear a hammer of
Brandon, come on. No, he didn't help him build anything. He just helped him look after the suit while he was gone. Come on. Building the suit is a whole undertaking. He's not that smart.
All right, guys.
Oh, did you see the movies of him growing up since he was 6?
He didn't go to the Stark Institute.
I missed all those movies you're referring to about how smart this kid is.
You're making a leap. I'm telling you, you're making a leap. That's all I'm saying. You're making a hell of a leap, period.
From the guy wearing the Spider-Man shirt.
When they cut Thanos' head off in the first 2 minutes, you think Marvel doesn't leap? That's more of a leap than what I'm saying.
So, but yes, Tony Stark's daughter does take on the Iron Man suit.
There you go.
It's in a comic in the future where Franklin Richards.
What was her name? It wasn't Morgan though.
Riri Williams?
It wasn't Morgan.
No, Riri's not his daughter.
Oh.
Yeah, Riri's not.
It was his daughter.
Riri's some black girl who's super
I can't
smart.
remember. I can't remember his daughter's name in that comic.
It was
Also, that would be
Morgan in the
nowhere
movie,
near
wasn't it?
these movies.
It wasn't Morgan,
What was it?
but
in
it
the
was
movies?
when Franklin Richards
That was a hell of a weird name.
bleeding. So it was something just like Tony Stark.
Yeah, that was a weird name to choose though. I gotta say.
Oh, I think it was Baloney Stark.
Oh yeah, Meyer.
Yeah, Tony.
Baloney.
It was Tony and Baloney Stark. I remember.
Yeah.
Oh, Tony Baloney.
Yeah. That was her name.
Nailed it.
It's Bologna, but it's pronounced Bologna.
Oh, okay. There you go. That clears it up.
It's real confusing. It was a play on words.
I was kind of taking you seriously till you said Bologna. It was just there. Yeah.
Wait, you really thought her name was gonna be Baloney?
Not really, but I was taking him seriously in terms of what he was doing. Like, all right, let's go with this.
So overall, I think we've gone a long time on Avengers Endgame.
Dude, I could talk for another hour.
Oh, dude, I've been
I could talk for another 3. I'm gonna just chill.
since I walked out of this theater. I was like, we have to talk about this.
Yeah.
You
There's
need,
so
to watch,
much
you
more.
need to go watch the most recent Game of Thrones episode.
I'm gonna go watch just that episode with no context, just so I can come talk about it.
No, there are people who have watched it and they're like similar to Kelsey. Like, I'm gonna go rewatch everything now. This is. fucking
I watched it, and then because my wife was like, she was working in the room, I was watching it, and then when she was done, she came back to watch it. I watched it again with her,
Nice.
and just before I came in, she was just like, you know what? Hang on. She went back and put it on, and then fast forwarded to the last 5-10 minutes and watched it again.
better than Lord of the Rings. Any battle.
My
Yes.
wife has made me watch every single episode of Game of Thrones with her, and then now I'm in Florida. Obviously, I'm not in my studio, but I'm in Florida, and she was like, "So if you watch Game of Thrones without me, I will leave you." Hey, that's not that can't be a thing. She was like, "If I
Just so
find
you
out
know.
you watched it, I will kill you."
Jason,
They will never find
I know you as a person. I think a little bit. You are going to shit, dude.
Okay,
Watch that
I was
episode.
gonna say something. I don't even want to say it because I don't want to see the look on your faces. I'm not even gonna say it. Like, that's how serious I am about Game of Thrones. Like, I'm not even gonna say that shit.
Don't get on any, like, people are spoiling the shit.
I'm
It's
not.
being spoiled everywhere, man. Just
I like this.
Yeah.
Dude, my favorite is like people are like my favorite scene from the episode, and it's just a black screen. I don't know if it actually means something from the show, but like if it doesn't, it's just funny to me.
So
Oh,
I saw
man.
really.
I love all the ones without context.
The truth is, this episode of Game of Thrones is the Endgame movie of the show.
Oh shit.
Yes.
To date, it's that good. Of like,
Everything else is far from home.
yeah, it is that good. It's like, holy, I didn't expect any of this. Every single scene is sick. Every character blew my mind of what happened.
Yep.
It's that like
I want to give a shout out to Sid. Everybody knows Sid.
Hey,
I wanna give a
Sid.
shout out because he sent me something today that was hilarious,
Oh yeah, that's all.
and
That.
it was a picture of Khaleesi.
Daenerys. Yeah.
Yeah, and she has a dragon egg, and the quote says, "I want to find someone who looks at me the same way this hippie looks at her avocados."
Okay, that's
Sid, it was funny. It was funny. Yeah, I was just like, it looks like a big ass avocado. I don't.
Now that's all you can see.
Yeah, it's a
God, that's
topographical map of
that
Colorado.
is funny. That
It's
is
like two avocados fucking. I don't know.
Okay, stop.
Dude. Those the bloopers of him just like doing a different one after different one. TJ Miller's fucking hilarious.
do you
dude.
remember Chang Yang
What?
from that show? Or from Silicon Valley, which also has whatever the fuck
TJ
is-
Miller?
Yeah.
I
Have
haven't seen
have
it.
any of you seen Silicon Valley?
No, I need to.
Oh god, I was about to go down the deepest rabbit hole. He's in Crazy Rich Asians. He's funny as shit.
Mm.
shoots a girl with a grenade launcher and she fucking just like flies off of a boat.
Alrighty then. On that note, all right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. Tank, tell them where to find you.
Yep, you guys can find me all over the internet at the Caped Critic. I have to go see Endgame again. I've got to find time to go do it again.
We're doing a bro date.
Let's do it. I'm down.
All right, Rue, are you in for this bro date?
Only if it's in the AMC theater.
Of course.
All right, tell them where to find you.
You can find me on the interwebs at TheNerdsFromWork.
A lot of letters.
When you said NERD,
dude, I got a Pharrell album on vinyl this weekend.
Immediately.
Nice.
Yeah, I wish I had that kind of money.
You got to think before you fuck with those skateboard beats. All right, you guys can find me at Houdini0333 on Instagram and Twitter. Avoiding everything. You probably won't find me until Thursday because I've avoided everything because of Game of Thrones. So go fuck yourself, San Diego. Brandon, tell them where to find you.
Yeah, you actually alluded to it earlier.
Go fuck yourself.
Groot stepping out in his true form, no pants, no shirt. I'm really starting to embrace that. I'm actually filming this with no pants right now.
Okay.
So you can find me on Naturist Passion, where all nudists find other nudists at bmiller425.
If you're wearing no pants, are you looking for someone who's wearing no top?
I'm working my way into it. That just happened to be the first thing that went.
For the next 3 weeks.
It's kind of like strip poker. You know, you get rid of one thing at a time.
For the next 3 weeks, I just want him to show up with one piece, like no hat, and then no hoodie, then no just like a wife beater.
Just happened to be my pants.
I love how the pants were the first to go, not the hat.
Right.
Yeah,
not the hat. The hat is last.
Well, you know,
naked with the hat.
I really need my wiener to air out before I need my hair to air out. So why would you go with your hat first?
You're gonna kill Tank. You're gonna kill Tank.
Oh my god, dude.
No.
Tank nearly fell out of this shit.
That's the first thing I'm trying to aerate.
Oh shit.
Get a little
Did
flow
you see?
going.
Check out the video later. Tank nearly fell out of his chair laughing.
That's funny. That's good.
Okay. Well, as I mentioned before, you can find all of us at The Nerds From Work, at TheNerdsFromWork.com, The Nerds From Work on YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud, and at Nerds From Work on Twitter and Instagram. Hey, from all of us here at Stark Tower, peace.
I feel like I'm running.